Have you ever really listened to the lyrics of the music that you're listening to? Is it sending a message that you would be okay with your children hearing or learning about? As a young child in my home, where I grew up, my parents only allowed us to listen to Christian music or music that basically was from the 60s, the era in which my parents grew up. I grew up enjoying groups like Fleetwood Mac, Dr. Hook, and even the Eagles. Um, though I love these groups and I love that style of music, I enjoyed getting to go to my friend's house because it opened me up to a whole new world of music. I began to listen to groups like Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi, all groups that I really enjoyed. And I learned that I really truly loved rock and roll. I like that style of music. As I got older and I grew into my teen years, I branched out and began to listen to more music like Tupac, Biggie Smalls, Eminem. I realized that I also enjoyed listening to rap music and hip hop music. These were all styles of music that I found entertaining and exciting. Um, and this carried on into my 20s and eventually into my marriage. When me and my wife got together, I began to listen to groups like Nickelback and 3 Days Grace. Um, but it wasn't until my son was born that I really began to truly listen to the lyrics of the music that I was listening to, and I realized that there was a lot of things that were message wise that were being taught in this music that I didn't want my children learning about. Things like drugs and violence and sex. They were just things that, as a Christian and as a dad, I didn't feel was appropriate for my children. At this point, I began to realize that I needed to find alternative groups, similar to the groups that I found as a child that I to listen to when my parents, informed me that they didn't want me listening to the rock and roll bands that I thought were so awesome and fun to listen to. I found groups like Petra, who I grew up listening to. Their music was similar to AC/DC and Metallica, but it was a Christian message that it was sending, and it was a message of hope and love and peace, something that I felt was more appropriate. I also found Toby Mac, who is one of my favorite rap slash hip hop singers. Lecrae is another hip hop singer that I enjoy listening to. That's a Christian singer. He sings rap. It's still got that same feel to it that the secular music has, but it's a message that's a little bit more lighthearted and more about love and less about violence and sex and the things that I just don't want. I didn't want to introduce into my home. Um, and as I've grown and I've matured, I began to listen to more easy listening style music. So this led to finding alternative music like that, like Chris Tomlin, Michael W. Smith, and Elevation Worship. Um, I also enjoy listening to pop music. So I found groups like Mercy Me, the Newsboys, who have that pop feel to them, but it also teaches a good moral basis. Um, as a parent and a Christian, I think it's important that I teach values and morals that I would want my kids to learn about. And if I feel like if you learn nothing else from this, and if you walk away with nothing else, I hope that you'll go out and you'll listen to the music that's in your home, and that you'll see if it's really teaching something that you would want your children to be introduced to. Thank you.